Thank you. Now let's talk about the left side here of the user interface. We talked about that previously, but let's talk about in deep. We have the properties and the project browser. Let's start by the project browser. As we talked previously, that project browser had all the views that can be controlled in the project. So we have plans. If I double click here, it will automatically go from the 3D view to the plans. And also we have the ceiling plans, the 3D views that we have. For example, this 3D view or other 3D views such as cameras and views. I have here a copy for the 3D view. The elevations, for example, if we have the elevations here, and also others of the views that we have in our project. And these are different from project to project about the arrange or the template that you have. For example, if I go back to the recent file screen and open another project here, you can see maybe that these names are different according to you and your arrangement of the project. So here we have ground floor, roof floor, outside, etc. site, and also the elevations, the legends. We have another names for this project. So if I return back here, you can see that here the level 1, which is the maybe the primary level, has name of level 1, but I can control that. Maybe if I want to change it, for example, to another name, I can right click and then go to rename and rename it as I want. For example, ground floor, basement floor, first floor, as you want. And when I click here, it will give me a message that this will would you like to rename the corresponding level and views? Let's say yes. So if I click yes and I go to, for example, the elevation, you can see that the level also in the elevation and the section and any level associated to this level will be ground floor. So this is about the project browser. We will talk about that also later in details. Now, as you see, if I have here a lot of views opened and I don't want all of them, simply you can go here to the 3D if you want that to remain, and go to view and also close inactive. You can see that just the 3D view remains, and this is the other project. Maybe you can close it or leave it as you want. So now this is enough about the project browser. Let's talk about the properties here. As we talked before, this is the properties of any component of Revit you have selected. Now I am not selecting anything, so this is the properties of the 3D view. But for example, if I came here and select this one, you can see that this is the properties of the wall that I have selected. So I can change the type of the wall from here. If I select here, you can see that this type, this wall type has been changed by selecting here from the properties and changing its type from the properties. Maybe you can change it to curtain wall or anything you want. So from here you can control the properties of any component that you have selected. And also, as you see here, we have also some properties of the components that we selected, and we will go on and talk about that later. It will give you some information about the properties of the selected component here. Now let's talk about the difference between these properties and the general properties that we have in edit type. So if I select this one and go to edit type, the difference here that if I change anything here, it will change the properties of the type itself in all the project. So for example, let's take an example here. If I select this curtain wall and came here to edit type, and for example the spacing between these mullions, maybe I change it for the vertical grid to 2 meter, or let's say 2.4, like the spacing, horizontal spacing, and apply it, you can see that this property will change all the spacing for all the type, not just for the selected type. But any change, maybe if I select this and change, for example, any property here, I don't know if we can change here any property, for example, starting from ground floor 2.4, let's say that it's 1.2. So you can see that the starting here just changed for this wall, not all the properties. So this is an instant property here if you change, but if you edit type and change anything here, it will change the property of all the type. Maybe this is enough for the project browser and the properties. Something else we can talk about, which is the, if by accident this properties has gone and the project browser has gone, how can we return it back? We can go to view, user interface, and then click on project browser. As you can see, it will return back, and also the properties which have an abbreviation which BB, we can bring it back. So if maybe you don't need for the properties because it has abbreviation, if it is gone accidentally, by clicking on BB, you can see that it will be back here. So this is all for the properties and the project browser. See you in the next video.